Hey guys, it's Korosum here, and in this brand new series we're gonna learn about TypeScript basics. You're gonna learn about everything from simple concepts like types or interfaces to more advanced concepts like tuples or generics. So let's get started. So in this video, let's initialize a TypeScript project. Alright, so I have opened up VS Code. Let me open the terminal as well, and here. So what we're gonna do is, let's first create a Node.js project. To do that, I'm gonna type npm init --y. What this --y flag does is, it enters the default values to our package.json file and create it automatically. Hit enter, and it creates a package.json file with the default value. Alright, now let's install TypeScript. I'm gonna type npm install, and we need to install TypeScript as a development dependency. Why is that? Well, even though we develop our application with TypeScript, we don't need it to run our application, because we compile our TypeScript code into JavaScript so that our browsers or Node engine can run it. Alright, so we need TypeScript as a development dependency. So to install TypeScript as a development dependency, we're gonna type --save -dev TypeScript. Alright, hit enter, and this will install TypeScript as a dev dependency. Alright, so what's next? So we have installed TypeScript in our project locally. By the way, you can install TypeScript globally into your computer, but I prefer installing it locally in our project. Alright, so TypeScript is installed in your node module folder. As you can see, we have a new directory called TypeScript, which is our TypeScript local installation. Alright, so even though we install TypeScript, still we haven't initialized our TypeScript project. To do that, I'm going to type npx. That's how we can access our TypeScript command line tool we have installed. npx, then tsc. tsc means TypeScript compiler. So this command is available because we installed TypeScript in our project. npx tsc --init. Hit enter, and this will create a new file called tsconfig in our file. Let me close our terminal. As you can see, this is quite a large file. Most of the configurations are commented out. Let me walk you through a few of the important configurations. As you can see, we have an object called compile options. So these are the configurations that we pass to our TypeScript compiler. So as you can see, we have a target property which defines the JavaScript version, and we have our module property which specifies the syntax for generated or emitted JavaScript files. Well, we have quite a few important options. We have this strict option. This is the one that tells TypeScript to check for types in our code. If you haven't defined a type for your variable or object, then TypeScript will show you an error. Alright, so I'm not going to walk you through each and every option because there are so many. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to link a document in the description down below, so you can check what each and every options in this configuration file does. Anyways, let me enable a couple of configurations in our tsconfig file. I'm gonna search for outdir, and as you can see, we have a option called outdir commented out in our tsconfig file. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to uncomment this file, this property, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna change this value to dist. This is the property that defines the directory for our compiled JavaScript files. So when we compile our TypeScript code, there will be a new directory called dist will be created, and our JavaScript files, the compiled JavaScript file, will be saved inside that folder. So as you can see, there is a short description for each and every configuration defined here. For our outdir, we have specify an output folder for all emitted files. Makes sense, right? And one other options I want to enable is no emit on error. So this will tell TypeScript that don't generate or emit JavaScript files if there is an error in your TypeScript code. Alright. By the way, we have an error in our tsconfig file. Don't worry about it. It will go away as we create our first TypeScript file. So I'm going to create a new file called index.ts. Now our error is gone. Alright, so let me write some code in our TypeScript file. Let me create a new function. I'm gonna name this function test, and this function will have a parameter, and what this does is this will console log particular parameter. So as you can see, we have an error showing in our parameter. Why is that? What it says is parameter A doesn't have a type. So like I said, in our tsconfig file, setting this string to true will check for types in our code. If we set it to false, let's see what happens. Now this particular error is gone. Let me change it back to true. We have our error back. So here let's define a type. Let's say string. By the way, this will be explained in our later tutorials. Just wanted to check this. Now our error is gone. Let's call this function. Let's pass some string. Right. So to compile our TypeScript code into JavaScript, let's open up the terminal, and here we're gonna type npx tsc. This will compile our TypeScript code into JavaScript. As you can see, we have a new folder called dist has been created. Inside that, we have a new file called index.js. Let's open it up. So in this index.js file, we have the same code we have written in our TypeScript file without our type. As you can see, in our parameter, we don't have a type. Alright, so this makes sense, right? TypeScript is JavaScript with types. Alright, so that's basically it. We initialized a TypeScript project, and we learned something about tsconfig file, and we created our first TypeScript file, and we compiled it, and we generated or emitted a JavaScript file. In the next video, we will learn more about TypeScript basics. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.